Hey, B, how's university life treating you?
It's been a bit of a transition, to be honest. High school seems like a distant memory now.
I know what you mean. I remember feeling overwhelmed when I first started university.
Yeah, there's so much to juggle, between classes, assignments, and social activities.
It takes some time to adjust, but you'll get the hang of it. Just remember to stay organized and prioritize your time.
Easier said than done, right?
True. But don't forget to have fun too. University is a great opportunity to explore new interests and make lifelong friends.
Thanks for the advice. I'm looking forward to making the most of it.
That's the spirit. And don't worry.
Have you ever thought about the role of creativity in education?
Yeah, I have. I think it's really important to foster creativity in students, because it leads to better problem-solving skills and critical thinking.
Absolutely. Plus, it makes learning more fun and engaging.
Definitely. When students are encouraged to think outside the box and come up with their own solutions, they're more invested in the learning process.
I totally agree. And creativity isn't just important in art or music classes. It can be applied to all subjects, like science and math.
That's true. In fact, some of the most innovative breakthroughs in those fields have come from thinking creatively and outside the norms.
Exactly. So, how do we encourage more creativity in education?
Well, I think teachers need to provide more opportunities for students to experiment and take risks, and encourage them to think critically and independently.
And who knows, maybe we'll even discover the next. Can I talk to you for a minute, B? I'm feeling really stressed about choosing the right major for college.
Of course, I'm here to help. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been looking at all these different majors, and I can't seem to make up my mind. I don't want to pick something I'll regret later.
I understand how you feel. But it's important to remember that your major doesn't define your entire career. Many people end up working in fields unrelated to their majors.
That's a relief to hear. But how do I choose the right major for me?
It's a personal decision, based on your interests, skills, and goals. Have you thought about taking a career assessment test or talking to people in different fields?
No, I haven't. That's a good idea.
And remember, you can always change your major if you find that it's not the right fit for you. The important thing is to stay open-minded.
Hi, B, how's your semester going so far?
It's going well, thanks. I've been thinking a lot about my future career lately.
That's great to hear. Have you considered doing an internship or work-study program?
Yeah, I've been looking into it. But I'm not sure if it's worth the time and effort.
Trust me, it's worth it. Internships and work-study programs give you hands-on experience and help you build professional connections.
But what if I don't like the job or the company? Won't it be a waste of time?
Not at all. Even if you don't enjoy the experience, you still gain valuable skills and knowledge that will help you in future job searches.
Okay, you convinced me. Do you have any tips for finding a good internship or work-study program?
Yes, I do. First, research companies and organizations that align with your career goals. Second, network with professionals in your field. And third, don't be afraid to take risks and try new things.
Thanks for the advice, Professor. I'm excited to start my search now.
You're welcome. Be good luck. Hi. How was your first year at the private school in the countryside?
It was amazing. The teachers were great, the campus was beautiful, and the classes were challenging but fun.
That sounds great. How does it compare to the public school you went to in the city?
Well, the public school was definitely more diverse and had a wider range of extracurricular activities. But the facilities were old and the classes were overcrowded.
Yeah, I remember how cramped those classrooms were. But at least you had access to public transportation, right?
Yeah, but here I have to drive everywhere. And there's no place to hang out after school except for the local diner.
That's definitely different from the city. But at least you get some fresh air and nature here.
True. And I don't have to worry about dodging traffic on my way to school.
Sounds like we should do a school swap one day and see how the other half lives. Can I talk to you for a minute? I'm feeling really nervous about the upcoming public speaking assignment.
Of course, what's on your mind?
I just can't seem to shake the anxiety. Every time I think about giving the speech, my palms start sweating and my heart races.
That's completely normal. A public speaking can be scary for a lot of people.
But how do I overcome it? I don't want to embarrass myself in front of the class.
Well, one thing you can do is practice. The more you rehearse your speech, the more comfortable you'll feel with the material.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the actual delivery? How do I stay calm in front of the audience?
Try some deep breathing exercises before you begin. And remember, it's okay to pause and take a breath during the speech if you need to.
Thanks.
Do you think collaboration and teamwork are important in the learning process?
Absolutely. I think working with others helps us learn new perspectives and ideas.
I agree. Plus, it makes the learning process more fun and engaging.
Definitely. It's always more enjoyable to learn with friends than on your own.
That's true. But I also think teamwork helps us develop important skills, like communication and problem solving.
Yes, those skills are essential in any career or field.
And teamwork also helps us support each other and work towards a common goal.
Exactly. It's not just about individual success, but about collective success.
You're really selling me on teamwork, B.
I'm glad I could convince you. Together, we can accomplish anything.
Are you ready for our final exams next week?
I think so, but I'm still a little nervous. How about you?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, but I want to make sure I'm prepared.
Same here. What study techniques have you found to be the most effective?
I like to use flashcards to memorize important concepts and formulas. And I always try to get a good night's sleep before an exam.
That's smart. I like to create study guides that summarize all the material we've covered. And I try to study in short, focused bursts to stay motivated.
Yeah, I've heard that cramming all night doesn't actually work.
Definitely not. But it's also important to take breaks and give your brain a rest. Maybe we can reward ourselves with some ice cream after we finish studying.
Sounds like a plan. Let's eat. I don't understand why professors still rely on traditional lectures. They're so boring and ineffective.
Really? I actually enjoy lectures. I think they're a great way to learn.
But we spend hours just sitting and listening. It's not interactive or engaging.
I see your point, but lectures are just one part of the learning process. We also have discussions, group projects, and hands-on activities.
But even those activities are often just based on what we learned in lectures. It's not like we're applying what we've learned in a meaningful way.
Well, I think you just need a more engaging professor. Maybe we can find you one who can make lectures more interesting.
Yeah, maybe. But I still think we should focus more on active learning and less on just sitting and listening.
I agree. We need to find a balance between traditional teaching methods and...
Hey, B, can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure, what's up?
I've been struggling with math lately, and I was hoping you could help me out.
Of course. Math can be tricky, but I'm happy to help. What are you having trouble with?
It's mostly algebra. I just can't seem to wrap my head around the equations and formulas.
I know algebra can be intimidating, but it's just like solving puzzles. Once you figure out the rules, it becomes a lot easier.
That's what I'm hoping for. Can we set up some extra study sessions after school?
Absolutely. We can work on some practice problems together and I'll help you break down the concepts step by step.
Thanks, B. I knew I
Reading an article about teacher training programs and new teaching methods.
Oh yeah. What did it say?
It talked about how important it is for teachers to keep up with the latest teaching techniques and technology.
I can imagine. The world is constantly changing, and education needs to keep up.
Exactly. And the article also mentioned how some of the traditional teaching methods are becoming less effective.
Really? Like what?
Well, for example, some studies have shown that lectures aren't as effective as interactive teaching methods, like group projects and hands-on learning.
Makes sense. But it's also important to remember that every student learns differently, so teachers need to be flexible with their teaching styles.
Yes, that's very true. That's why teacher training programs are so important. They help teachers learn how to adapt to different learning styles and use new teaching methods effectively.
Agreed. It's a constantly evolving field, and we need to.
Technology is taking over everything, even education.
Yeah, it's crazy how much it has changed the way we learn.
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's both. Technology has made education more accessible and engaging, but it also has its downsides.
Like what?
Well, some people think it's making students lazy and dependent on devices. And then there's the issue of privacy and security.
I see what you mean, but I still think technology has more pros than cons. It's like having the world's information at your fingertips.
That's true, but we can't forget about the importance of traditional teaching methods, like face-to-face interactions and hands-on learning.
Definitely. Technology should be used to enhance education, not replace it entirely.
Agreed. It's all about finding the right balance between tech and old-fashioned teaching.
Have you ever thought about the importance of early childhood education?
You mean, like preschool and kindergarten?
Yeah. Those years are crucial for a child's development.
I guess, but can't they just play and have fun instead?
Well, of course, but those early years set the foundation for learning. It's important for them to have structure and guidance.
I see your point. What kind of things do they learn?
They learn everything from basic math and language skills to socializing and following directions. It's like a mini boot camp for life.
That's one way to put it. But seriously, early education can make a huge difference in a child's future success.
Exactly. It's never too early to start setting them up for success.
I'm feeling pretty down about my French grades lately. I just can't seem to get the hang of it.
Don't worry, I've been there. What are you doing to improve?
I've been practicing speaking and writing in French every day, but it's just not helping.
Have you tried incorporating French into your daily life? Like listening to French music or watching French movies?
That's a good idea. I'll give it a shot.
Also, don't forget to attend every class, ask questions, and do extra practice exercises. That always helps.
I'll definitely try that too. Thanks for the advice.
No problem. Just remember to be patient with yourself and keep a positive attitude.
I heard you had the best art teacher last semester. What made them so good?
Yeah, they were amazing. They made the lessons fun and interactive. And they were always there to help us improve.
That sounds great. Any other qualities a good art teacher should have?
In my opinion, A good art teacher should be patient, encouraging, and have a good sense of humor.
I agree. A sense of humor definitely makes the class more enjoyable.
Definitely. And a good art teacher should also have high standards and push their students to reach their full potential.
That's important too. Thanks for sharing your insights. I'm on the hunt for a good art teacher now.
Good luck! And remember, a great teacher can make all the difference in your art journey. I heard you're a whiz in geography. How do you do it?
Thanks. I just make sure to study and understand the concepts, not just memorize facts.
Any tips for learning geography well? I'm struggling in my class.
Definitely. I use mnemonics and create mental maps to remember locations and physical features.
Interesting. What about current events and countries' relationships?
I read news articles and follow current events. Understanding the world and its geography is a never-ending journey.
That's a great approach. I'll try it out. Thanks for sharing.
No problem. Good luck.
Hey, I heard you passed your German exam with flying colors. Congrats.
Thanks, but it wasn't easy. I had to study hard.
Any tips for passing the German exam? I have mine next week.
Sure thing. I found that memorizing vocabulary and grammar rules helped a lot.
That makes sense. Any other tricks?
Yeah, I also listened to German music and watched German movies to improve my listening skills.
Interesting. And what about the speaking part of the exam?
Just relax and be yourself. Try to use the vocabulary and grammar you know, and the examiner will be impressed.
Hey, I heard you passed your German exam with flying colors. Congrats.
Thanks, but it wasn't easy. I had to study hard.
Any tips for passing the German exam? I have mine next week.
Sure thing. I found that memorizing vocabulary and grammar rules helped a lot.
That makes sense. Any other tricks?
Yeah, I also listened to German music and watched German movies to improve my listening skills.
Interesting. And what about the speaking part of the exam?
Just relax and be yourself. Try to use the vocabulary and grammar you know, and the examiner will be impressed.
Great advice. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to give it a shot. Have you decided what you want to study in college yet?
Yeah, I'm thinking about majoring in physics.
Really? Why physics?
I've always been interested in how the universe works. Plus, I think it would be really cool to be able to say I'm a physicist.
I see your point. But have you considered studying chemistry instead? I hear it can be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I've thought about it. But I'm just not as interested in chemistry as I am in physics.
Well, it's important to study something you're passionate about. And who knows, you might discover a new love for chemistry once you start learning about it.
Yeah, you're right. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the input.